Welcome to Alabama Manufacturing Now, hosted by the Alabama Training Network, a podcast where we cover a wide array of challenges, solutions, and innovations for manufacturers and businesses.
We're your host, Whitney Barlow
and Paige Caulfield.
Alabama Training Network, powered by the Alabama Community College System, built for training, driven by workforce. All right, guys, welcome back to Alabama Manufacturing Now. We are so excited to welcome to I almost called it a stage, but I guess in some ways it is a stage, right? Sure. To our podcast, the Small Manufacturer of the Year for the Alabama Manufacturer of the Year Award, which is sponsored by BCA, Manufacture Alabama, and now the Alabama Training Network. And we cannot wait to introduce our friend Marquis with 1186 and M-Rain Industries. And he has brought with him Brandy. So welcome, guys. Thank y'all so much.
Well, thank you for having us. Thank you for having us on this outstanding, wonderful platform.
Oh, we are so excited. Now, so we want to know, first of all, if you don't drink 1186 water, you are missing out. It
Most
is
definitely.
Fabulous.
Most definitely.
It is one of my, it is our go-to in our house. We are big supporters of 1186, not just because I'm friends with y'all, but it is just great water.
Before you go any further, I'd just like to say everybody that is supporting 1186 over the years since 2018, we've been shipping 1186 since May of 2018. Everybody that have been supporting 1186, this award belongs to you.
Oh,
This award belongs to you because without our support system, we would not be where we are right now. You know, first we give honor to God for leading us down this path and getting us opportunity. But what a joyous occasion to have all the support system that we have had across the state of Alabama, across the Southeast, matter of fact, across the United States. You know, we're just blown away by it.
Well, that's what we want to hear about. So before you get into your story, I have to tell you, I filmed you when they announced you. Yes, because I wanted to see your face and how shocked you were.
I was shocked.
It was amazing. I love it.
I was shocked. Matter of fact, our marketing specialist, our marketing director, asked her, she said, I never seen you nervous before, like choked up with words. And I was like, it was, to come from where we come from.
Mm-hmm. I know.
To come from where we come from, I'm talking about, this is not just for us. This is for all the small businesses, rural areas, small towns that, hey, they told you couldn't make it. You've been denied. Mm-hmm. You've been rejected. You've been ran over. You've been backed over. You've been thrown under the bus. Hey, this is for us.
I love it. Okay, so you got to tell me the story. Let's get into it.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so we want to know, I think if my memory serves correct, you are not the original owner of 1186.
No. It's not that we are not the first person to try.
Okay.
We're not the first company to try to bottle water in Otagoville.
Okay, so I need to know, I think I know some of it, but I need everybody else to know.
Yeah, because I don't know.
Like how that came into, how y'all created that, how you created your bottle, and I don't think they can see this on here, but when you get your bottle, you'll be able to see that how we have a Bible verse under every cap, like the whole story.
Okay. So let's just start from the beginning. I'm from a small town. I'm one of 7 children raised by Jessie Ovetta Atkins. She passed away back here in April, and rest her soul, but she left a legacy second to none. Small town of Otagoville, and less than 1,000 people now. When I was there, it was probably less than 2,000 people, so the town has decreased in size by, half. And so really there's only 2 things to do in Otagoville. That is to work at the broom factory or work on the farm.
Okay.
It's rural America, rural central Alabama, right next to the Black Belt. Anyway, when I graduated high school a long time ago, won't give you that time frame, but when I graduated high school, I noticed that people made a statement. They made a promise that it's nothing here to do, and when I leave, I never come back.
Right.
And I was like, wow, the town would just continue to decrease in size. So I graduated valedictorian in my class, and I did something that was different. I was pretty naive about it. I made a promise. And the promise was that if I was to go off and be someone, no matter where it is, no matter how successful or how less successful it is, I won't forget where I come from.
Okay.
And so I ain't gonna say, I call it naive because I had no intention on coming back, really. I ain't gonna say, because it's nothing there. It's nothing there. And I'm like,
it's that valedictorian speech.
Yes. And you got to be careful how you word things and everything. But that was my heart, though. That was my heart because Otagoville, every time when I left Otagoville, I tell everybody, they were like, where you from? I said, Otagoville. And they were like, where's that?
Yeah.
Never heard of that before. Anyway, long story short, I come to Tuscaloosa.
Okay.
I come to Tuscaloosa. I had an academic scholarship to the University of Alabama. I've been in Alabama. I've been in Tuscaloosa ever since. And I live in Tuscaloosa. I live in Northport, rather. And played a little football. I couldn't get an athletic scholarship because we was on probation. Mm-hmm. But I had an academic scholarship. My thought was that, football would take me to the next level, and I would come back and build everybody a house because I have all the money from the NFL. Well, but that didn't work out. That was really naive, and it usually don't work out. I ain't gonna say not usually work out, but the chances is very small. Right. But got into the automotive industry. And this area is just saturated with automotive. We got Mercedes. I'm talking about. You got Honda less than 2 hours from here. You got Hyundai 2 hours south of here. Got into the automotive industry, and my career just began to blossom. 2007, I found myself back in Montgomery. Okay. This is a great segue too, as well. Found myself back in Montgomery, working at the Hyundai plant. Brandy's father was my boss. I didn't even know it. Listen to this now. I didn't even know it. So I was working at Hyundai, not for Hyundai. I was working for an independent contractor, independent tier 1 supplier, and I reported to Brandy's father. Didn't even know it. This is how you got to be careful. Yeah, you got to be careful how you do things. But anyway, small state, small world. Anyway, as time turned, my company, I started an engineering representation company. Very successful. We started representing, tier 1 suppliers across the state and also across the Southeast. And things began to happen. And our company became very successful. And 2015, at that time, I wasn't working at the Hyundai plant. I was doing some work at Mercedes. Mm-hmm. I got a call from my mother telling me that a pioneer in the town had passed away, and was a good friend of hers. And her request for me was to, hey, we need for you to come home and go visit the family. And I was like, I'm all over in Mississippi. I'm at Honda. I'm going to Kentucky. I'm going to Tennessee. Mom, I'm apologize, but I'll send some flowers, but I just don't got time. Yeah. And I'm sorry. She was like, he really, really, really admired what you did as a young man and what you were doing. And I said, I'm so sorry to hear that he passed away, but I ain't gonna be able to make it. That next day I was driving to Mississippi. I was driving to one of my appointments, and I kid you not, God spoke to me. God said, go home. And I'm driving, I'm like, who said that? Yeah. God? Go home. And I was like, oh my goodness. And so I called my appointment and I told them, I said, guys, I'm not going to be able to make it. I got an emergency. And I got off the phone with them. I called my mom. I said, hey, I'm coming home. I'm about 4 hours away because I'm way off. Mm-hmm. And I said, I'm coming home. She said, okay, great. I'll cook dinner for you. And so later on that evening, I found myself at the Palmer's. His name was Granule Palmer. I found myself at the Palmer house in Otagoville, knocked on the door. And the family was there, and they invited me in, and we celebrated life. Right. Oh. We celebrated life. I'm talking nobody cried. We were just saying, hey, they were like, we're so surprised to see you. Yeah. You made it back home. Oh, my goodness. We celebrated life. An hour or two later, it's time to go home to eat. And I'm looking at my watch. I say, well, I got to go. I want to enjoy this meal. And before I left, I told Miss Palmer, I said, Miss Palmer, maybe one day, when I pass on, people talk about me like this. Mm-hmm. And she prophesied. And she said, they're going to talk about you before you die. Aww. And we was all like, what do that mean? Good or bad? Right. She said, you will see. And I was like, that's strange. Yeah. So that's really strange. So I got in the car. I called my mom and said, hey, I'm on my way home. She said, okay, food is ready. Oh. I'm looking for you. Got your favorite meal. I'm like, oh, my goodness, this is going to be great. And in Otagoville, we don't have any red lights. We only have 3 caution lights and several stop signs. That's just how small the town is. And I come to a stop sign to make a left to go to my mother's house, and my life changed.
At that stop sign?
My life changed at that stop sign. I was at that stop sign, and I had my left signal to turn to go left, and the traffic was coming, and the Lord spoke to me and said, go see Mr. Ward. And I was like, hold up now, I done came to Otagoville. I done did my part. I got this food ready for me. I need to go eat.
It's my favorite meal.
It's my favorite meal. I don't want to go see Mr. Ward. Mr. Ward was my old principal in high school. He was the old mayor. Mr. Ward was 83 years old. He had Parkinson's disease. And Mr. Ward, one of those people that all you got to do is say hello. He'll talk for an hour without you saying anything else. And I was like, no.
No, my food.
No. So at that stop sign, my life changed. Obedience is better than sacrifice. And I chose to be obedient. And I drove across the road instead of turning left. And Mr. Ward stayed about 4 blocks from where my life changed. And I called him. He was at home. And when I got to his house, he was on the back steps waiting for me, standing there. And I pulled in, and I was like, oh, my goodness, it'll be 10 o'clock before I go home. And I pulled in, and Mr. Ward began to lamentate about the situation Otagoville was in. Mr. Palmer him and Mr. Palmer was great friends. They didn't see color. Mr. Ward was a Caucasian man. Mr. Palmer was an African-American man. They did not see colors. When you see one, you see the other one. And he stood on the back of the steps and he began to just pour his heart out about the condition that Otagoville was in. And I'm like, Lord, please tell me why I'm here, please. I'd heard this story before. And about 30 minutes into the story, I said, okay, I think I hear it. I'm going to ask him, what can I do? And I said, Mr. Ward, what can I do to help Otagoville? And without hesitation, Mr. Ward points at me shaking. You can run the old water bottling plant. And I go, what?
I can do what?
Said, what are you talking about? I said, that's crazy. I said, I heard of it, never seen it, never had the water, never anything. And he was like, get in my truck. Now it's almost dark. Mr. Ward, Parkinson's disease, and I'm riding with Mr. Ward shaking. And I'm like, okay. And he takes me and parks me in front of a dilapidated building on the other side of town, which is only 3 minutes away. And he shows me this property that's been vacated and it's falling apart for the last 4 or 5 years, I guess. And he said, that's the old water bottling plant. I said, no. No. I said, I have a good career. I said, I have people working for me. I have engineers working for me in all the southeastern states. I'm good. And he said, Marquis, he said, you will be perfect. He said, you have the drive. I know you. Please come back. I said, nope. Nope. I said, matter of fact, take me back to my car. I'm ready to go eat this dinner, and I'm out of here. He said, do you remember when you was in the 11th grade, you went to Beta Club trip? I was like, yeah, I remember. He said, you didn't have a suit to go to the Beta Club trip. I said, yeah, I remember that as well. He said, I gave you $300 for the suit. I said, yes, I remember that. He said, you never paid me back. And I go, Mr. Ward, I have sent you money. I have gave you money for the park. I gave you money for the town. I done donated money. He said, that was for the park and that was for the town. But he said, you never paid me my $300 back. And I said, I have $300 on me right now. I give it back to you now. He said, nope. He said, that was many years ago. He said, now you owe me interest. And I was like,
oh my goodness.
Mr. Ward, please. So speed up the story. Mr. Ward twisted my arm and he said, I need for you to call this gentleman, get some contact information. And make a long story short, I knew nothing about a water bottling plant. I knew anything about no water. And our goal was to bring some people together to reopen the old water bottling plant. That goal didn't work out. That's why I said I'm not the first person, or we're not the first people to try to bottle water.
Okay.
We're actually the fourth.
Oh, wow.
It's been 3 other entities before. As a matter of fact, the history report goes back to 1920s that someone in Otagoville put artesian water in a mason jar and was trying to sell it in a mason. Can you imagine riding around on a trailer and mason jars? Said, I got some water. They were like, we can go get it too.
Yeah.
You know? No, we don't want that. And so there was another outfit that came in. I think late 90s,
like
1999. Yes.
That's what I started thinking about.
Is this moonshine or is it
it's
water? No, this is artesian water. You don't get out of here. But anyway, so the late 90s, there was a more legit outfit that came in, did some study on the water and dug a well. And this is the beginning of the old water bottling plant, the first bottle plant in Otagoville. It was very small, like a hive, and it grew. And then the owner of that, fell into some health issues, and then another entity came in, took over, changed the name, and started doing different operation. And that entity, I wasn't there. I can only read the notes. Wasn't of high business like people.
Okay.
And that was dissolved, and you got this water plant, very small water plant that was just sitting in the field that could be utilized. And so we started working with them, working with the original owner, and learn as much as we could, but we could never come to an agreement on anything. It was just like, it was adverse. And the last conversation I had with anybody was, if you think you're so smart, build one. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And so 18 months later, M-Rain Industries opened up a brand new state-of-the-art 22,500 square foot facility that had brand new equipment in it. Very high efficient, that we not only just bottle water with, we do a lot of things vertically integration within our facility, because I'm from an engineering background. And if I know if we're going to do this, it's not going to be a hobby. It's not going to be a little something that we do on the weekend. Think about what this can grow into be. And so with that in mind, we brought our team in. We brought the other three founders, original founders in. Kelvin Brickhouse, Derek Bayless, Dr. Tabitha Ford. We all came together, put our money, put our time, put our expertise on the line, and put ourselves in different lanes. Okay, this is the lane that we're going to run. We're going to stay in our lane. And on April the 27th, 2018, we had a grand open. 1186 was available to the public. May of 2018, we started shipping water through Budweiser. Budweiser became our distributor in the beginning. Matter of fact, March of 2018, we had all the Budweisers in the state of Alabama as our distributor. Hadn't made a bottle of water yet, but this is like, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. And
it's
we
because they felt a homage with the mason jar.
Yes. It was like, hey, this got to work. This is much better plan than the other three. And so with that being said, before that even happened, though, we had a lot of, I know that it's done some future questions about this, but there was unimaginable amount of difficulty. We was turned down by 18 banks. We had so many people to tell us that we would never be anybody. Wow. That we had so many people tell you you'll never be able to sell a bottle of water. You'll never be able to compete. This industry is so competitive, so complex. You'll never be able to complete. And plus, you've never done this before. We had feasibility studies written about us that said that at best, you can run water for someone else, but you'll never be able to compete for yourself. And I was like,
right, man.
And I was like, wow, so it was ugly. It was ugly. And, we spent a lot of our money, because in the beginning, no one believed in us. Right. No one. And it was still like that even after we opened the facility. We opened the facility April 2017. May of 2018, we shipped our first load out right before Memorial Day. And, just to make stuff interesting, in order for us to pay the bills, we needed to sell 600,000 bottles of water per month. That sounds like a lot of water, but that's not a lot of water. And we need to sell 7.2 million bottles a year just to pay the bills. In 2018, we only sold 632,000 bottles of water the whole year.
Oh, man.
Whole year.
The whole year.
The whole year. So we had family members, friends, anybody that had liquid cash. I need to borrow it. Come to my side door.
Yeah.
And I need to borrow money. We had to pay payroll out of our pocket. We had to pay power bill, utilities out of our pocket. And it was just mind blowing. So I don't want to rent.
Oh, but it's so intriguing. I'm like, you're
great.
Just inspired. Okay, so I have to know, where did 1186 come from?
Yes. So just the title, 1186. Here go again. We are faith-based, period. People say, Mr. Forge, Marquis Forge, how do you lay down and sleep at night? Before we started, what did we do? We prayed. I cannot tell you, if this was my idea, I would be in the ground with Mr. Palmer and Mr. Wood. Mr. Wood no longer is with her. He passed away like 2 years later. He did get to see M-Rain Industry come to fruition.
Oh, yay.
Yes. I'll never forget, it happened. He died during COVID. But anyway, this is not my plan. This is God's plan.
Yeah.
This is God's plan. We are walking by faith. We're not using our own sight. So here it is. When we dug the well, we dug our own well. we dug a brand new well and we made it industrial. And they were like, why would you need an industrial well? I said, I'm thinking on the scale of an engineer. If this turns out to be humongous, I want to have the capacity.
Right.
I just don't want a garden hose in the back.
Correct.
Right.
I want an industrial well, because
Yes.
if this turned out to be, beyond our expectation, like I know how God can work, I want to be able to fulfill the demand.
Yeah.
So we dig a industrial well, don't have a plant, woods in the background. We just like we digging an industrial well with no building, and even the well driller was like, "What are you? It's your money. It's our money. We'll do it, but there's nothing here."
Yeah.
I said, "Don't worry about it. Just do it." And so after we dug the well, and never forget it was October the 6th, 2016.
Okay.
Never forget that because October the 6th is my birthday.
Okay.
And we called out an independent lab to test the water. And they didn't have anybody available. And so they sent their supervisor, their head guy over the lab down that's been working there for 35 years.
Okay.
I'm not going to call the lab name because I don't want no one go bumping him and just talking to him and blowing them up about, I need to know stuff. Anyway, they come down October the 6th, and we had been doing some preliminary tests with some uncalibrated equipment. And we told him, say, hey, this is going to be really good water. He said, listen, sir, I don't want to blow your bubble. I don't want to bust your bubble. But I done tested all the water in Alabama. I done tested most water in Georgia. I done tested most water in Southeast. And I'm going to tell you right now that the water coming out this well is going to be this, TDS-wise. TDS, total dissolved solids. It ain't going to be, this is raw water. This is a raw well. It ain't been refined. It's nothing. I said, okay. I said, I'm putting my hope and faith in God that it's going to be this. And so he told us that the TDS couldn't be no more than about 100, which is from 0 to 100. You don't want it to be 0 because then it's dead water, but you want to get close as you can with the purity of it. So I said it'll be 20. And so he said, I tell you what, since you're so adamant, when I go back to the office, I'm going to do the TDS first. A couple of days later, he called me back, and he said, Mr. Forge, are you sitting down? And I said, yes. He said, I'm sitting down. He said, well, I got something to tell you. He said, both of us was wrong. Both of us was wrong. And I go, oh, okay. He said, I said it couldn't be no lower than 100. And you said it'd be 20. And he said, both of us were wrong. He said, and I did it twice because I couldn't believe what I got, the results. He said, the results came out to be 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. And he said, I have been at this lab for 35 years, straight out of college. And he said, I have tested water across the whole Southeast in many places. He said, this water in a raw state is 10 times better than anything we ever got on file.
Wow.
He said, sir, you have liquid gold. You have to figure out how to put it in a bottle. He said, you got a hole out there in the middle of the field with a well. You ain't even got a built structure. He said, you just got to figure out how to put liquid gold in a bottle. So we had a marketing guru, which is a very dear friend and great sister of mine from Connecticut. Her name is Chrissy Carboni, that joined the team back in 2016. And she worked with Avion before, and she helped bring Avion from France, and she worked with them for many years. She's an independent person now, got her own company. But anyway, she was working with us hand and feet because we didn't know what we was doing. And we get on the phone and say, well, guys, we got liquid gold. We would have a conference call every other night. We got liquid gold. She'd be like, country pumpkins, you guys do not have liquid gold. You do not have liquid gold. You can't call it liquid gold. And she was so adamant, and she would laugh at our accent, our deep, Southern drawl. And then she would laugh at how we was just so invested in God. And she said, please, y'all got to stop calling liquid gold. This is ridiculous. And she said, have you found out what the name going to be? I said, nope, God hasn't told us. And she said, well, can you ask him tonight? And I said, well, yeah, I can. And so, that night I studied the Bible pretty frequently. And that night I was studying the Bible. And after I got through studying the Bible, I said, Lord, what do we name the water? And I promise you, he just spoke and said, how do you study the Bible? And you got to remember how God works. If you ask for furniture from God, he don't give you furniture, he give you a tree.
Correct.
You got to go out and cut the tree down. You got to do some work, and you got to mill. You got to make the tree. You got to make the furniture. And so I said, okay, I know how you work. How do I study the Bible? And of course, Christy gave us some parameters. It got to be used in a sentence. It can't be too long. It can't wrap around the bottle. It can't be. Yeah. It's got to be front facing. And you got to be able to use it in a sentence. So he answered me and said, how do you study the Bible? And I said, okay, that's not the answer, because give me a cold bottle of how do you study the Bible? And that ain't going to work. And so I studied the Bible 3 chapters at a time. Give me a cold bottle of 3 chapters at a time. That is not going to work. Got it. Pull my phone out, and I'm not going to call the app name. I said, app, how many chapters in the Bible? 1,186. I said, 1186. 1186. Give me a cold bottle of 1186. Have you tried 1186? Have you heard 1186? Award-winning 1186.
Oh my God!
Manufacturing of the year 1186. I said, I believe that's it right there. So we got on the phone the next night, and she was like, "Hey, country punkers, did you ask God last night?" I said, "Yep." And she said, "What was the answer?" I said, 1186. She said, I said, "Hello?" She said, 1186. She said, "Where you get that from?" She said, "Can I have a cold bottle of 1186?" She said, "Have you had 1186?" She said, "That is a beautiful name." And we start calling it 1186, 1186, 1186, and a couple.
And no longer liquid gold.
No longer liquid gold. No longer liquid gold. Couple weeks later, it was still resonating in my spirit, and I was like, 1186. I'm a Bible studier, and I went in. I counted the chapters manually. It's 1,189. I said, that's not a problem. We can change it. 1189. And we got on the phone the next night. I said, Chrissy, I said, I kind of made a mistake. I said, I think I did something wrong. I said, it's not 1186, it's 1189. And she goes, no, country pumpkins. No. She said, Marquis, she said, I'm so sorry. She said, but you guys got a heavy draw as it is. And she said, 1189. She said 1189 is just gonna be be too tough, and it's not marketable. She said 1186 is an upper. She said, please go back to God and ask him, can we keep 1186? And I kid you not, we went back and he did not answer. But as I was studying, I came across 1 Corinthians chapter 12. 1 Corinthians chapter 12, I won't quote it word for word, but verbatim it says that the Spirit gives man 9 gifts. So right then and there, I found out that 6 and 9 coincide with each other, because on the 6th day, God made man. And so I said, what better gift to give man than 1186?
Than water.
Water. And so we took off with it.
Just like the woman in the well, where she says, if you drink from me, you'll never be thirsty.
This is living water.
Yes.
Living water.
Yeah,
you would never be thirsty
again. We have done come to church today. Yes. I love it.
I will pass around my collection plate here very soon.
Yes.
So that's how 1186 became the name, and we just took off with it. It goes to show you, even when man's make a mistake, God is glorified.
Yes. I just love
God is glorified. Even when you think you made a mistake, he still is glorified.
I love this so much.
Yes.
So before you were the award-winning water, you were already the state's water.
The official state water. So again, I just want to first of all go back and say, grace to God on high for just blessing myself and our team with such great family and support system. My family, my wife, my brothers and sisters, my mother that passed away, the community, and then this awesome team, to interface with different people on the team, to be here. I'm talking about not just team members, but we're talking about the chamber. We're talking about the community. We're talking about the town, the mayor. We're talking about the private area chambers of commerce. We're talking about local political backing. We talking about, I'm talking down to YMCA, schools. These guys was like, we are behind you. We are behind you. The whole county, the whole state. So April of 2019, we was submitted to the state, the House of Representatives, said, hey guys, we need to support this guy, and we need to put some officialness behind him and their product that they have. And so they was like, we're going to submit that 1186 Real Artesian Water that is bottled in Autauga County out of a well in Autaugaville is going to be our official state water. And that passed unanimously through the House of Representatives Senate. And they was like, we need to show people that we are for great things like this. And I think it's only one other state that has official state water.
Well, because it's hard to find water this good.
Exactly.
So all the other states are like, until we can get 1186,
Yes.
I guess we're going to be out. Okay, so now let's talk about the actual production of the bottle and how we get to this beautiful package of 1186 water. So you have in front of us the preforms and some of the pellets. So can you kind of talk about how all this comes to fruition and add in my favorite? So, have you been on a tour there?
No.
Okay. Oh, girl.
Well, if you gotta.
I have toured it quite a bit. I could probably give you the tour.
Really?
Yes, but it's a great tour.
I'm in.
But in the second, it's not second bay.
Yes.
And second, is where the big beautiful machine is that came from
Switzerland.
I knew it was one of the
So
beautiful.
here it is. Let's go from the beginning.
Okay,
Let's go from the
I
beginning
want that
on this.
included in it, though.
Okay, let's go from the beginning. So when we started the process of how we were going to be a water bottling company, there's several different ways you can do it. The easiest way to get into the water industry is I call up a boutique company and I say, hey, I want to do bottled water, and I'm gonna pay for the label.
Mm-hmm.
They call that white labeling or
Oh,
boutique.
you have to talk about your private labels.
Yes.
Okay.
So here it is. You can that's
Forgot about
the
that.
easiest way you can get into a bottle, but in the process of doing that, you are gonna pay dearly.
Mm-hmm.
You won't be able to compete with the big guys. I'm talking about if I call a water bottling company, they do a boutique bottle for me. I'm talking about when they get through doing this boutique bottle, the water gonna be about $25 or $30 a case. So it's nowhere in the world you can sell it to anybody else because
Except
you the
people
end
in
user.
Hollywood.
Yeah, you the end user. So what we was thinking in the beginning is we need to decrease how many people touch this as much as possible. So we don't want to do white labeling. We don't want our company to be a white label. Second way, you can just buy the bottles. You can buy the bottles from somebody, bring them into your company, and you can fill them. And then you can put labels on them so you can fill, put a label, you can fill, cap, put a label on it, and pack it. Well, okay, we don't want to do that either. Then the third layer is you can buy these right here from a preform company. So these right here are preforms. You can buy
this
preform.
is that.
Yes, this is you can buy a preform from a company that will sell you preforms. And so in order for you to if you're gonna buy preforms, now you got to have a machine that actually blow this preform into a bottle, and then it fills it with water, then it caps it, then it label it, then it package it, and now you got a case. So we were like, that is the best option for us because we can cut out the bottle producer, we can cut out the boutique producer, and we can have more room to be able to sell to the public at a mainstream cost. And so we started off with that. We bought preforms from Turkey. It was cheaper to buy preforms from Turkey, have them shipped to a dock in Turkey, put on a boat, travel across the water for 6 weeks, come to a port in Savannah, get put on a truck, drive 6 hours from Savannah to Otagoville,
Oh my goodness.
and it's a third of the cost if we had a guy somewhere in the United States.
Oh wow.
That was back in 2017, 2018 when we first started working. So COVID come on the scene. And right now, at this point in time, from 2018 to 2020, we have a system we call BFC. That's bottle filler capper.
Okay.
We got a machine that will take a preform, turn it into a bottle, fill it, cap it, and it'll come out as a bottle of water without you touching it.
Wow.
Yes, it's amazing,
go.
amazing.
Interesting.
So it would take and we have tours all the time. We had a huge tour yesterday. We had 2 tours yesterday. We have tours all the time. The younger generation come in and say, "Did you see? It blew a bottle into it blew the bottle and came out. Nobody was touching it. It's a phenomenal process." So anyway, 2020, we've been working up to 2020 with that process, BFC. So 2020 come, everybody know what happened in 2020, COVID. And the logistics world went upside down. So let me just use a roundabout number. In 2018, I can get a load of these for $20,000 shipped to my door. In 2020, 21, that price went to like $50,000, $60,000. It tripled. So now the cost to get something from overseas have now almost been the same cost as get from the United States. And I can't afford neither one of them.
Right.
And so in 21, the end of 21, I said, okay, either one or two things gonna happen. This 22,500 square foot building in Otagoville is about to become the biggest residential area because we're finna go out of business. And the original owners, gonna find a corner so we can say, this your house, that's my house, in 4 corners. I said, or we can go to our financial partners and say, listen, guys, unless you want this to become a house, a residential area, and we can have free water for the rest of our life, because this is what's gonna happen.
We have great hair.
Yes, we can all go out there and crank the machine up and say, hey, it's my turn to get water. I said, unless you want that to happen, I advise for you to go down this road with us. And they was like, what road is that? We want to start making these ourselves. We want to vertically integrate in-house. And they said, Marquis, Mr. Forge, that is preposterous. You're not even selling, you're not barely selling enough water to pay your bills, and now you want to go add this?
Yeah.
I said, well, the choice.
Yeah.
Add this, create more debt, or this right here become
Build houses.
be a residential area.
Yeah.
It'll be 276 County Road, 165, Suite A, Suite B, Suite C, Suite D. It'll be just suites. It'll be suites.
You have like little ring doors.
Yes. Just pick the doorbell you want to ring and come through the front door. So they said put a business plan together, and that business plan included adding almost tripling the size of the building. And they was like, okay. And also that plan included us going and finding the world's greatest, fastest, most efficient injection motor machine.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And a year later, we found ourselves in Switzerland.
Beautiful.
The Alps of Switzerland, Alps Mountains. And I'm like, Otagoville? I went from Otagoville to Switzerland? And we brought some partners on board that help us, some collaboration partners that help us come along the way. And in December the 8th, 2023, it's 2023, we commissioned a machine that build these in houses.
Wow.
And so not only did the machine build this in houses, so what we do is we take resin, pour it in your hand. That's good. We take resin.
It's like nerds.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't eat them. Don't eat them. You would not be a nerd if you eat these. You would not be a nerd.
I would be. I'd be dead.
Yeah. You won't be dead, but you won't be a nerd. So what we do is we take this resin and we bring it in house. It comes in as a resin form, it's pellets. And when it comes in the house, our machine that we have will take this resin
Dropping them.
and it would turn it. We use blue food coloring dye that's FDA approved.
Okay, so that's how it gets blue. Okay.
And it would turn the preform blue. And we are able to run enough preforms. Listen to this. We're able to run enough preforms in 4 days. We can run enough preforms off this machine in 4 days to last us a whole month.
Oh, wow.
So when we commissioned this machine in December 2023 and we've put it in full operation in January of 2024, we decreased our cost of goods sold by 35%, which automatic pay for the machine.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That's
So
amazing.
it was like we didn't get a new loan. Mm-hmm. And so instead of us calling halfway around the world and begging for parts, begging for preforms, they'd be like, "Hey, Mr. Forge, we're gonna run preforms next week? Yeah, Monday. Let's run preforms." That's it.
Amazing.
That's it. So
then,
our carbon footprint has been decreased by 80%.
Wow.
So when we need preforms, we like crank the machine up.
crank the machine.
Hey, run Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Clean up on Friday. We got enough preforms to last us another month.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And the stress.
Yes.
Because, it comes in. All right, so tell me a little bit about the top.
Okay.
There's something very special about. Okay.
Okay. So here it is. The tops. When we decided to do our own preforms, we lost the contract with getting the caps as well, the closures.
Okay.
So we had to go out and find a closure supplier as well. And that was another amazing story where we got a closure supplier. It's, it had to be imported in, but this supplier had the new technology to be able to laser etch in the caps. Mm-hmm. And when they was at our office presenting their plant to us, their proposal, they was like, we got new technology, we can laser etch. And the Holy Spirit just said, ask them. And I I was like, no. He said, ask him. I said, excuse me, Eduardo, excuse me. Do you have the ability to put scriptures in caps? He said, why? Why would you want to do that? You know how many people you're going to offend? I said, can you do it? He was like, we never had anybody to ask that. We was thinking that you're going to put like drink more water. This is clean water, pure water, buy more water. I said, no, Bible scriptures. And he called back to the plant, and I gave him the longest Bible scriptures that we had, that is in the Bible. And he came back like 5 minutes later and said, yes, we can do it. And he said, okay, we'll order Bible scriptures. We'll order the caps and put Bible scriptures in. We've been doing that since 2022. And it has been one of the greatest attributes of our company ever, because it gives us opportunity to minister the word of God.
So my kids, when we open them, it's a big deal because, we buy the water to take with us because, we're in every travel sport known to man. And so we take the water with us in travel sports. So when they drink it, they go get their Bible, they look it up, and they're like, that's my verse for the day.
Yes.
And then the next day, and it's just, and if I'm correct, when I took the tour, it's all of your employees' favorite verses.
So everybody, all the team members had an opportunity to give us 2 to 3 verses.
Okay.
And that wasn't enough, but we had church members, we had community leaders, we had friends, family. We got a total now of 221 verses.
Oh,
it's a total of 221 different verses that you're gonna get. So every morning, like before I came here, my verse was Proverbs 6:16 through 19. And, it goes and talk about the abomination, God, these abominations he do not like. And one of them is, that I preach at our job, don't sow a discord. Do not sow a discord. And that was just, don't be a false witness, and that is what we are preaching, that the word, this water stand on the word.
Okay, so I'm going to start a new competition with my children because they love it. I'm going to tell them there's 220 of these.
221. It's 221 and 1 QR code. So it's a total of 222.
Okay, so I'm going to tell them, and so they're real big into collecting because, I don't know you about kids, it's like rare, super rare, whatever. So I'm going to tell them there's 221, and we're going to see if they can collect them all. Yes. And when they do, I'm going to take a picture, and I'm going to send it to y'all.
Yes, that'll be great.
And so, we are, because really they'll love that. Yeah, they will absolutely. Okay, so we have, I just, your story is one of
inspiring.
Oh, it is. So I need to know if we got you back in here in December of 2026, because, we're in the first part of the year. Tell me if I was like, so how did the year turn out for you? What would you hope to be able to have said, this is what we did?
For 2025?
2026.
For 2026. So let's say I will come back here December of 2026.
Yeah, let's pause for 1 second. You are in February of 2026. That's when this is going to drop.
Okay.
So we're going to pretend like we're sitting in February of 2026. And so I'll re-ask the question.
Okay.
So Marquis, one of the final questions I have for you is we're in first part of 2026. And if we were to bring you back in here in December, if you could just pick one goal to have accomplished, what do you hope it is? You've already got so many things to be blessed and thankful for.
You've accomplished so much already.
I know we're asking
can I make it a combo goal?
Yes.
Sure.
So December 2026.
Yes.
God wills that I be living. That's one thing I would love to be living, but from a business standpoint. From an M-Rain industry business standpoint and what we stand for in our community, one of the goals that'll be a combo goal would be that 1186 will be in more households.
Okay.
And it'll be more of a conversation in the house. Have you had 1186? And we'll be in more states. We'll be spread across more states. We'll double in production, and not only that, we will have accomplished one of our major community goals. And one of our major community goals this upcoming year will be that we will be taking over the previous closed down school in our community, Otagoville. Otagoville school system was closed down May of 2025. And as of July of 2025, we took the reins on that. And we're in the process of opening and bringing it back to fruition. So now, December of 2026, we're going to be doubled in volume.
Okay.
And we will have not controlling factor, but we will be the foundation for educational factor in our community
Oh,
Great.
yeah.
for the children. They don't have to ride a bus for 2 hours one way. They can ride their bikes back to school again.
No.
And when they go to school, they will think about 1186.
Correct.
And they would think about the commitment that we put in place. Not only that you're drinking the water, but this commitment that we put in place is also the educational, catalyst for a community that is in darkness.
And you can plant a seed, and you can leave and come back and give.
Yes.
So
Yes,
like
yes.
you in naiveness, you began this your senior year.
Yes.
Little did you know.
Naiveness, you are right. That is a great word. Naiveness. That was spoken out into the universe, and it came back.
He
Many.
called it.
He said, "Hold up, you just don't. I want to throw this back at you." And remember this, and now you got to your word went out and didn't come back void, and now you have to deliver.
Wait, but naiveness in a $300 suit. Okay.
Okay.
Naiveness in a $300 suit, right?
$900.
Oh, Marquis and Brandy, thank y'all so much for coming. I feel like that we have covered, to me, on a small manufacturer, it's just as important to know
absolutely.
how, that's what we love about MOTY, is that people know if they run businesses what dedication it takes to get it off the ground. Yeah. And so to hear that story, and then how y'all decreased your carbon footprint, have you increased your processes, it's just great.
Vertical integration. And then, I know this is not recorded now, but one thing I want to say is this, is that it's easy to dream a dream, but it's very difficult to live it.
It is. It is still recording, just for the record.
True.
People think that, hey, I dreamed this and we're going to go out tomorrow and it's going to happen.
No.
Listen, this past September marked 10 years we've been doing this.
See? Look.
10 years.
And now we have all this. Okay, so tell everyone if they want to get 1186 in their store, or they want to get it for their manufacturing facility, because that's another great thing. People are buying those. How do they get in touch with you if they want to get connected completely to 1186? How do we do that?
So the best way to do it is visit our website.
Okay.
That's www.11, spell out 11, just like it is on the bottle, ELEVEN 86 water.com. And there's a whole array of things on that website. The first thing you're going to see is 1186, and also you're going to see that icon that says award winning.
Yes.
Award winning. So you can go in there, got product location. You can see where there's a product that's close to you that you can get the water from. If you're not near a product or near a location, we can ship the water to you via UPS in all the 48 states. If you want to be a distributor, if you want the water in your office, you want to order bulk, there's a place on the website as well. Also, you can call our office, 844-423-1186. 1186.
Love it.
And anyone can help you. You can reach out to Brandon. Brandon's our contact for growth, for sales. You can call Brandon Blackburn. You call at 844-423-1186. They will contact you at Brandon if you want to buy a bulk, you want to buy a truck, you want to buy a boat full, whatever you want to buy. We can facilitate it. We got plenty of water. You want to be a distributor, you want the water to be in your warehouse, call us. We will answer the call, and we will make it happen.
And then follow y'all on Instagram.
Oh,
because I know y'all
please follow us on all social media platform. 1186 Water is our platform.
And we'll put it all at the bottom.
Yes, most definitely.
So that everybody can get that thing. Thank y'all so much.
No. Thank you for having us on this platform.
We're so excited.
This is great.
This is a lot of motivation. So.
Yes.
Okay, thanks guys for watching us, and we'll be back. Bye-bye.
Thank you.